Hello, and welcome to Check Out This Guy, the podcast where we sometimes roll around at the speed of sound. I'm Izzy, you can call me she or he, and, we're going to talk about speeding bullets today, but there's other people here too.
I'm Emory, my pronouns are they, she, he. I'm thinking that you're the faker, actually.
Damn, I'm Morg, I use they, he pronouns, and, sometimes you just gotta play a little furry animal, whether they run around fast or not, and sometimes you just have to name yourself after the bajillion Shadow the Hedgehog endings.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I have imposter syndrome now, thank you.
Oh no! But yeah, like Izzy said, we're talking about speeding bullets because we have all played this game. All three of us have played this twice together, and then Emory and I have played 3 times.
Yeah.
Because you could also listen to my Sonic Shuffle episode where we play it.
Yeah, the 3-year anniversary special. That was a very fun episode, and I'm glad I got to guest on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Me too.
So yeah, I do want to take a second to credit Prince and Princess Grace and Friends, the creator of this little 1-page game.
Yeah.
And yeah, for those who aren't aware, it is it's basically a lasers and feelings hack inspired by Shadow the Hedgehog, the 2005 video game, as well as, you know, the character Shadow the Hedgehog. And you have 2 stats, fast and gun, so basically indicating things that are like behaving heroically or behaving anti-heroically. So it's a lot of fun. It gives you little prompts for making up a, simple 3-act story. Every time you make a character, you also make up their rivals, so we'll be talking about rivals as well as we discuss our characters. And your character's gender is one of the 326 endings, one of or possible story paths rather from the video game Shadow the Hedgehog 2005.
God. Yeah, and like it's kind of a meme that like there's so many endings, but they're fucking good. Like the problem is that the names are good and whoever named them is a fucking genius. Like, yeah. Sorry, it's actually a good game. Like, I've never played it, and I'm like, this is still a good game. Sorry.
Number 5, At Vengeance's End. Like, come on, that's great. That whips ass.
It whips ass. Like, I don't know.
223, Light Born from Darkness. I mean, come on, let's go.
I actually can pull up my character. So we did this in like a Discord together, and I pulled up my characters from those games. The names and genders and stuff are kind of ridiculous, so like chances are you're not going to remember them later. I just got lucky that I wrote them down. So for the first time we played this, it was Dan ran...
it was the 3 of us and Dan.
Yes.
Dan was GMing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the character I played as was Axe the Eye. And their backstory is the Sinner's Repose. Their gender is Fallen Angel of Despair. They love the occult and demons. Their rival is Animus the Angel, who's also an II, but is just also a douche. So, to explain...
Wait, hold up. You and I have both done the same thing, in that we thought that gender and backstories were different things.
I also did this.
So I also have a gender and a backstory that are different.
The first time we played, that's what we thought. when we played the second time, I actually have just the one backstory.
Same.
So what ended up happening is you make a character by, like, you know, you pick an animal. There's a lot of different ones, you know, obviously like hedgehog, but then you can also be a sexy bat or a robot bunny.
Yeah, it you know, you can pretty much be any animal. It does give you a list of examples. One of the examples on that list is sexy bat specifically.
Yes.
Not just a regular bat, they have to be sexy. So my character is Vile the sexy bat.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, you gotta present, like, after you're like, you name the character, you have to present it as blank the blank, like you would a Sonic character, obviously. And then we pick a backstory by doing, you can pick one of the ones that's on the sheet. It's technically a 2-sheet system, because the second sheet is all of the endings.
In tiny print.
In very tiny print. But there's also luckily a random generator for those. The random generator had like a section that was like backstory and genders, so that's why we did it separately at first. But it's all the endings, like either way. So I made an edgy eye, like the eyes, like those like weird monkeys with the big eyes. That was what my character was. And as Emory said, she made Vile the sexy bat. I don't know her different stuff, though, but...
Vile's backstory is, I shall be the one to judge, which I interpreted as them being a video game critic and streamer. And their fixation is the ultimate gamer fuel, which they love.
God.
They are constantly seeking the ultimate gamer fuel, the even greater and greater experiences in the world of caffeinated drink.
Right. So we all picked an obsession also. If your character has a high gun stat, you pick something you hate. If your character has a high speed...
Or not even necessary... Or is it that?
Yes, it's that.
I thought you could love or hate... Okay, fair enough. I thought it was you could love or hate either.
Yeah, I bent that a little bit when we played.
Fair.
You could... Because, my character is obsessed with demons and the occult, and I took that as, like, they can fucking summon demons. I was just like... balls to the wall. This is like a little spooky guy that can summon demons, because apparently that's my brand. I don't know.
Speaking of being on brand, let me say what my character was, which was Xenu the Cyber Cheetah, different Xenu than the one we've talked about on the show before. The random gender was Planted Memories, and the backstory was Shining Within Memory. Funny how that lined up. So I played her as a robot that was, I guess, like a badnik that turned kind of like Gamma, and just or I guess more likely Omega, and then became Val the Sexy Bat's gaming rig.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were all gamers. It was gross. Disgusting. No, I'm just kidding.
Wretches, just truly.
Her fixation, she was good at guns, so her fixation was hates humanity. And then there's one last thing that you pick at character creation, which is your rival.
Yes.
Oh, the rivals.
I mentioned my rival, but I'll go after you guys.
Yeah. So my rival was Jack the Human Cop, who loved humanity and hated furries. Yeah, he sucked. We didn't like him.
You might remember Jack from the Guys Who Suck episode because he sucks.
Yeah, here's the thing. At first, I was like, oh, when we talked about playing our rivals, I absolutely did not want to play, because that meant I was going to have to play as Jack. And then we just decided that he fucking died.
And he was better after he died. Oh, I hate Jack, but I love Jack. You know? He sucks, but like, it's good.
Yeah, once he died, I had something to work off of.
Mm-hmm. Emory, did you want to talk about yours?
I would love to talk about Vile's rival, Gratitude the Falcon. This piece of shit.
Yeah.
Gratitude is, like Vile, a streamer, and, you know, for some reason, even though they're competing in, like, very different spaces, Vile is, like, a gamer doing, like, a lot of, like, FPSs and shit. Gratitude is more of, like, a lifestyle / health food influencer, and yet somehow they're rivals. I don't know how that happened. And yeah, Gratitude's thing is they hate gamer fuel and they only like natural and unprocessed foods.
My headcanon is that Vile like made fun of them like once and then they couldn't stop. Like they couldn't stop obsessing over it to the extent that like Gratitude became like kind of a gamer just so that they could run into Vile.
Mm-hmm. Also, Gratitude became kind of in love with Vile, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get there. That's part of the reason why I think about that.
Enemies to lovers.
Kind of.
Enemies to lover singular.
Yes. One-sided. So, Axe's rival is Animus, the angel. Animus the angel, if you just like looked at them, they're just an eye also, but they got the like the angel theme, you know? They got like, oh, Axe is gonna be a fucking demon summoning guy. I'm gonna be Puritan. So that was kind of their whole thing. They hate the occult and demons. In theory, we'll get there. And they're smoking that Jesus juice, you know? They're vaping that Jesus juice. That's I can't imagine them vaping. They're very serious. They're very like Axe, you will never amount to anything in this life. Like, damn. Owned.
Yeah, vaping, like smoking for ghosts.
We can't get into that right now. That means nothing to any of our listeners.
It means something to you, though.
It means something to Dan.
Also, I think it's self-evident the meaning. You know, like, you got people and you got ghosts. And smoking and vaping is the equivalent.
God damn it.
So, let's talk about these little freaks. I love Vile so much. What a shitty little goblin.
So the first scene was you were streaming.
Yeah, Vile was streaming, and somehow, they noticed Gratitude the Falcon, like, doing a... Gratitude the Falcon was also streaming, and somehow Vile 360 no-scoped them, despite the fact that I don't think they were playing a shooter game, they were just, like, in VR chat or something.
Honestly, pretty impressive. You can just no-scope someone.
Yeah, Vile's that good of a gamer.
I think technically you can do that in VR chat.
Oh, probably.
Oh.
None of us do VR chat, obviously.
No. Vile also... A lot of things happened that session. They used corded gamer mice as nunchucks. They achieved their super transformation by sticking their head under a fountain soda machine and drinking 7 flavors of Mountain Dew at once. That's the kind of freak they are.
I guess to give this a little bit of context, the game works by basically working on 3 scenes. Our 3 scenes were the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
The second scene was traveling across the desert.
That one was funny.
Yeah, to reach our destination. For the third scene, which was the Bass Pro Pyramid.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
So, to go real quick to the desert scene, that's when Jack died.
Yes. Jack was on a police helicopter and got sniped out of the air.
Yeah, because, I don't know who did it, but, I just remember, the only part besides Jack dying I remember about that scene is that, instead of running, Axe was flying on a demon. That's the only thing I remember. Because everyone else was, running, I think. Or no, did someone have a bike?
No, so hold up. To be clear, we did not kill Jack. He survived the helicopter crash.
That's right.
He died of the heat and starvation and dehydration in the desert.
That's so much better.
Yeah, he had to suffer. I know that we encountered Eggman in a boss machine that had a bunch of hammers, and I stole it. That's what I remember about the desert.
Xenu just hijacked the boss machine.
Yeah, plugged herself into it and hacked it.
I remember more of the Bass Pro Pyramid stuff because one...
we went on one.
One, I remember everything with, Vile drinking all the fucking Mountain Dew flavors. 2, there was a robot Jesus. And 3, my rival showed up and was helping Robotnik, who was Robot Jesus.
What was that, Robot Jesus or Mecha Christ?
Oh god, I don't remember.
Same thing.
No, because...
It might have been Mecha Christ, I don't know.
Because one showed up in one of the sessions, the other showed up in the other.
That's right.
I think that it was Mecha Christ the first time.
Yeah. And then Robo Jesus was in the other game.
Yeah. And I did horrible things.
But yeah, let's talk about the second session, because we have to get into the fucking the fucking situation there. Kind of just a random, just kind of like a final note on Vile. In theory, they should be an absolutely despicable character, but there is just no darkness in in Vile's heart. Mm-hmm. They're just out there living their truth. They're living their best life. They are somehow a gamer who is likable.
Do you know how that happened?
We stan Vile.
It's because you can almost get away with it when you're trans.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
You can almost get away with being a gamer if you're transgender. If you're a gamer with a Y, Gaymer, you can kind of get away with it too. And she's both those things. So
yeah,
she really just got it all. And that's why Gratitude hates her.
We love that for Vile.
It sounds like we should be streaming on Twitch instead now.
No.
We're the ones that can do it. We have the power.
God.
No. Oh god.
So, the second session, I had entirely too much fun playing Gratitude. Gratitude, just a true piece of shit who is, like, never interested in anyone other than themselves. Like, all they're ever doing is, like, plugging their sponsors on stream and talking about superfoods or whatever.
They seem like the type that would, like, be into, like, organic, like, conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely
conspirituality kind of stuff.
They would never put a vaccine in their body, is the thing.
Yeah, no, they suck. They're despicable.
They suck. I hate them. They're funny.
They're funny. See, the problem is that we played as them, so we kind of love them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're bad, but we love them.
Yeah.
If I were on the Guys Who Suck episode, Gratitude would be my main subject for that app.
Yeah. Speaking of that episode, all you gotta know about Jack is he died, he went to hell. He was real mad that as a good cop and good Christian, he did not go to heaven, and the devil gave him a katana to go assassinate God.
We went really, like, strangely biblical with this one.
Yeah.
We did go to the Vatican.
We specifically went to the Vatican to kill God, so I apologize to all our Christian listeners, I guess.
Me?
I'm sure there's one of you.
Me? It's me.
I'm sure there's at least one of you. You're not a listener, though. You specifically said I don't listen to my episodes.
Uh-huh. But I'm a listener to the episode I'm not on.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. Fine. You're not listening to this one, so I don't apologize to you. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I'm being like this. So... yeah, I started off with being like, yeah, Animus thinks they're, like, an angel of God or whatever. But, well, probably more like a prophet of God, because they would never be like, I'm, you know, to that level, because Avi.
Yeah, they're far too humble for that.
Avi, they're too humble, and they, you know, humble, the shooting lasers, shooting God holy lasers.
Mm-hmm.
Their backstory was the last remaining purpose, so that's very, like, ominous for a fucking god being, god-loving being. I don't even remember how all three of these got together, because Jack specifically hates furries.
Uh-huh.
And the problem is that both of our characters are furries.
Yeah, I remember much less about the plot of that second session.
I only remember the last part of it, because it was so fucking insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Jack's backstory or gender, I believe, was dyed in lovely darkness.
So true.
Wow. Gratitude's backstory is disappointed in humanity, so, like, even though Vile the Sexy Bat is the one that I shall be the one to judge, you kind of get the sense that Gratitude is actually the more judgy one.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Vile will absolutely tell you their opinions on things. They will be like, this Call of Duty is shit. This energy drink tastes like ass, you know, but Gratitude will just, like, judge you behind your back and, like, you know, make little comments about, like, oh, I wouldn't eat that if I were you.
Vile's more honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God. So the only thing
also, it should be. I can't believe I have gone the whole episode without doing Vile's voice. It's basically just a Shadow the Hedgehog impression.
Mm-hmm.
I think Axe sounded something like this. Like, I think I kind of went a little nasal with them, if I remember. I think they just talked a little fast because they were just like, yeah, I'm the annoying sibling that summons demons.
Yeah. I went the obvious route and just did my bad impression of Jack from Metal Gear Rising.
For Jack, yeah.
I completely forget what Gratitude's voice was like, but if I had to guess, maybe it would have gone something like this, you know, just like a little bit of like California surfer bro, but also just like real haughty piece of shit, and who is like going to spend an hour cornering you and talking about the benefits of fruit juice or whatever. I think I've made his voice way more annoying than that, actually.
Yeah. I think, and like I was saying, I don't remember like specifically anime, but like I think they were like just like more serious, so they were just like, you will never amount to anything. Like not very shadowy. Like I did do a shadowy kind of voice for the Sonic Shuffle character a little bit more than I did for Axe or Animus. I remember that. I don't know if I actually said Axe and Animus are siblings, like officially, but they hate it. 'Cause, yeah. But anyway, I don't remember what happened before they got to the Vatican, other than I know Jack, like, talked to Satan a bunch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I jumped out of a plane.
Yes! I remember the plane jumping, too.
The Pope tried to convert Gratitude to Catholicism, and so Gratitude tried to convert the Pope to veganism. Turns out the Pope was already vegan because they were like a dove or something and mostly ate just like seeds.
Yeah. Didn't have to do a lot of work there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gratitude might be Catholic now, though. I don't know. I couldn't tell ya.
Well, the problem is that all of religion got fucked up by the end.
Yeah, okay. So the villain plot in that, though, was that Eggman and the Pope were putting up a bunch of mind control towers to forcibly convert everyone to Catholicism.
Specifically Catholicism. I'm like, why?
Because it was
it's a Pope. I know, but it's still just like, what the fuck?
I mean, I think we accidentally established that Catholicism was the correct religion in that universe.
Oh no. Oops. Oops. We love it. You know, even, which is so funny because, like, if anything, like, my family's full of ex-Catholics. So
yeah. So we did go through a portal to heaven.
We sure did.
We sure did.
We went to a portal to heaven and talked to God.
We talked to God, and God, since his form is like all unfathomable and everything, he just took on the appearance of whatever each of our characters considered most godlike. Mm-hmm. So let's cycle through those.
I don't remember what mine was.
Real quick.
Because I remember yours too, because they were so fucking funny, but I don't remember what Animus's was.
Wasn't it Jesu Cristo?
It might have been. I just got confused because they got, like, fused. So, we'll get there, but, Animus apparently is, like, their god is not the Christian god, per se, but has a very similar name to the Christian god, at least the son portion of it, aka Jesus Christo, instead of, Jesus Christ. In fact, I think I spelled it in a way that had, like, an apostrophe in it. So, you kind of get an idea that they're, like, some, like, otherworldly being, which, depending on... Otherworldly in a different way than God is. This is confusing.
In a cosmic horror sense.
Thank you. Yes, in a cosmic horror sense, more than in a, like, God sense. This will come back.
Jack's version of God was a Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
So
that's how we're gonna phrase it this time.
A cop played by Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Truly fucking despicable.
Yeah, this is why Jack sucks.
Jack continues to suck even though he's a cool skelly man, you know? He's not actually cool.
He was on fire even for a while there too. I think that was his super mode.
That's very Ghost Rider of him.
I like that when you make a guy who sucks, they're just, like, truly despicable in every way, and when I make a guy who sucks, they're just really, really annoying.
I have more self-loathing.
Oh my god. I didn't want to play a guy who sucked that bad, I guess. Which is why I couldn't stick with the...
Oh, but it's so much fun.
Which is why I couldn't, like, fully stick with the, like, actual, like, dominionist, like... like, evangelical... Like, they wouldn't have even been like, they would have been, like... Baptist or something. I don't know. Like one of the Protestant religions that likes to be evangelical about it, you know? So they still would have not liked the Pope.
So, yeah.
Not to get religious about this, but it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
So I thought about what Gratitude's version of God would be, and, you know, I had, like, my one initial thought, and I was like, is that too stupid? So I tried to think of different things, and I couldn't, because that idea just wouldn't leave me alone. So Gratitude's version of God is Vile the Sexy Bat. And at first, Gratitude was like, no, this is impossible. Vile represents everything I hate. But no, they're in love with her. They're a fucking weird little simp.
Yeah.
They're like a little freak about it, though. They're not just in love with her. They're like, that's my god, dude.
Exactly, yeah. They're such a freak.
Yeah, and then the devil got into heaven.
Yes.
The Christian devil, specifically from the Snapcube Shadow fandom.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dan did an impression of the Snapcube fandom Christian devil, and it was very funny.
Yes. And then God and the devil got combined, and it was also a combination of the...
Yeah, because Dan made the incredibly good choice of just saying, like, okay, God is gonna stay as Vile the Sexy Bat now. That's just how they look.
And do you know what else? Like, they were fused together because Animus, who was actually had the... I think they were, like, inhabited by this cosmic horror, Jesus Christo. And that thing had, like, all these, like, tentacles come out and made God and the Christian devil kiss. And they kissed so hard that all three of them fused together into one being. And now it's just permanently Vile the Sexy Bat shaped, but it has tentacles and demonic things part of it.
Yeah, tentacles and, like, 3 eyes and horns and bat wings.
Emory drew this, and it's one of the greatest things of all time.
Oh, it's the lock screen on my phone. I love it.
Like, it is the picture on our tabletop Discord.
That was such a weird session. Like, coming out of that session, my brain was completely scrubbed free of any wrinkles. I felt a little weird. I was like, what the fuck did we just do?
Yeah. I was like, well, I guess this is what anime does to their gods all the time, so it's probably alright. I also just love that we ended up, like, at the end, we had kind of like a bonus scene of, like, all of our characters in a circle having, like, therapy.
Yeah.
Like, it ended in therapy, and, like, the only part of Jack that was still around was his skull. And then, like, for some reason, like, Gratitude and Animus.
Gratitude refused to admit having any problems, except that Vile blocked them on all social media.
Yeah. And it was like kind of like a weird therapy session where like people had to like change their idea of what their religions are. Because of all this weird fusing of creatures together, of like gods together. So, yeah, you know.
Yeah, it sure was a thing. Do we want to talk about... I don't think we have as big of an attachment to it, but do we want to talk about the other game that Dan ran that we all played in?
I believe I was the GM for that.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, Dan was playing Spiral.
Okay.
And
You're
Em was
right.
technically an NPC.
I have no memory.
Yo, what the fuck?
You are correct, though.
Where was I? What was I doing?
Weren't you there for that one?
What did I play as? Oh my god.
That's a good question.
Do you remember going to the moon?
Vaguely.
Do you remember going to the moon and rescuing Michael Phelps from the secret gun
I
moon
do!
base?
I remember that part. What?
Do you remember Joe Biden trying to strand everyone on the moon?
I remember Joe Biden.
So
what the hell happened?
So you've just said everything, or nearly everything, that I actually remember about that.
Oh my god. Hold on. I must have put... I did! Oh my god. I forgot about this character. I found all three of our characters.
You mean you don't remember Vega doing a pole dance in Launch Base Zone?
I didn't! So let me tell you who Vega is.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Okay, so... I used the gender generator, only one this time, and got Moon of Atonement. So I decided that I was going to create a character named Vega, the Moon Rabbit. You know, getting into that whole Japanese mythology with it. And Vega was very good at fast, very bad at gun with a score of 2. And then I looked at the list of fixations. And one of the things in the list of example fixations, I saw it and I was like, well, I can't do anything but this now. And so I picked sex before marriage.
I love it when a tabletop RPG just suggests the worst idea of all time.
So it was fixation loving sex before marriage. Look,
She was very interesting.
Yeah, so I was trying to play like a Blanche Devereaux type character and utterly failing at it. So that's part of why I don't remember much, because I was kind of out of it trying to get my head around this character.
You're like, I blocked that from my memory.
Yeah, the most important thing, though, is that we're supposed to come up with rivals and then you play again as the rivals. Well, we never played as the rivals for this one.
No, we didn't.
And I couldn't have played as a rival for that one anyway, because it was M the Bun.
Yeah, you had the idea of, like, making just, like, a very, like, Protestant Christian rival for your character who hates sex before marriage. I was just like, hey, M's asexual. They hate sex before marriage and in general.
They hate it before marriage, after marriage, you know. They just hate it, you know.
And with this version of M, I just did decide to lean really hard into it.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, they're just like, yeah, if you have sex, I'll kick your ass.
So basically, other than what we've said so far, that's all I remember about the session. I don't even remember what the other characters were, so
I have
go
them pulled
for it.
up.
I remember Dan's character was Spiral the Wolf. I'm sorry, Mark. I do not remember your character.
I have mine, don't worry.
Okay, good.
Let me finish Dan, because, like, not only was it Spiral the Wolf, the backstory is to unite humanity. He loves anime. His rival is Frag the Fox, who hates anime. My character, I'm like, it's like all coming back to me, like, as I'm reading the character. I'm like, oh yeah, my character hated the undead. My character was Strive the Crow. And their backstory is the Grim Reaper's Horn. They were good at guns, so they ended up hating the undead. They wanted to, like, reap the souls for the Grim Reaper, like, and they used a horn to attack to do it. The rival's name is Flex the Capybara. I don't know if it ever even showed up, but, like...
Oh, yeah, no. Flux was a necromancer who reanimated a bunch of moon zombies.
That's right! Yes, that is right. So that's how we got zombies on the moon, was because Joe Biden hired Flux the Cappy to summon zombies on the moon.
I forget why.
I don't remember why either. But he did it, and they did it, and we had to, like, come into contact with him.
I think there was a power source on the moon or something.
That sounds right, but I don't know what it was.
Look, the reason we went to the moon was to rescue Michael Phelps from... Oh,
because he was the ultimate life form!
Yeah.
He was the ultimate life form, yeah, and they needed to rescue him from the secret government moon base so that they could beat the Chinese in the Olympics.
I forgot about the fucking reason. I forgot it was because they wanted to fucking beat the communist Chinese in the Olympics.
You know what? Here's the most important thing. I think y'all will absolutely agree. We've just described all this very weird bullshit. This is still a better version of the world of Sonic the Hedgehog than Kin Penders.
So, I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
See, Ken Penders would make a character who is against sex before marriage, but that's just because Ken Penders genuinely believes in that.
Oh my god. We can't even
Ken Penders would make that character, and that character would be right within the fiction of the universe.
I remember the whole deal with Scourge and with Jeffrey St. John and his comments about stuff that happened off panel.
Oh, yeah, no, that, you're right. I rescind my statement. Ken Penders only allows sex when it's, like, the most heinous shit possible.
Yeah. Welcome to the Sonic Shuffle.
A random and holistic Sonic lore podcast.
I'm the guest lecturer this week.
This is all stuff that we haven't gotten to on podcasts, but it's really funny that we're talking about this now since... the Ken Penders episodes are coming out finally of the Sonic Shuffle, and I'm being reminded by people being like, wow, why? And I'm like, I don't know. He's just like that. It's just like that. You just gotta go with it, man. I don't know. There's a dude named Enerjack, and that's not even the weirdest part, you know? Like, I don't know. But, I do love the idea of, like, especially because, like, the president canonically shows up in the Sonic games. So, like, we could just have Joe Biden in a Sonic game doing all of this. This could just be canon.
Do you think Joe Biden has the picture of Sonic and Shadow on his desk?
No,
yes.
He's not cool enough.
No. Yeah.
Maybe.
What picture does he have instead?
Dark Brandon is cool enough.
Wrong.
Dark Brandon isn't real.
I know, that's why he's not cool enough. Shut up. Anyway.
So, The only thing I remember from that session is Vile crash landed on the earth, or no, not Vile. Fucking Vile wasn't in there.
No.
Vega crash landed on the earth after attempting to launch a solo mission to the moon because they heard that the ultimate life form was there and hot.
Yeah, she had been banished from the moon for being too horny.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
And then I remember the session ended with stealing a spaceship and flying away from the moon, and then Joe Biden's spaceship turned into a mech to try to fight to try and there was a space battle. Both the spaceships turned into mechs.
Mm-hmm.
One of the mechs was just the robot from Darling in the Franxx. I forget which.
Me too.
Look, Vega wasn't even there.
No, it was Spiral and Strive.
Yeah, cause Vega was too busy being like, I'm back, bitches.
Yeah, she was just like home on the moon. Like, I don't even remember. I wish I remembered more of what Strive did, because I was just like, damn, obviously they didn't make that much of an impact because they weren't horny on main and they weren't like an anime, like, I'm gonna talk like this.
Oh, I remember Frag a little bit. I kind of created Frag's character going off very little, so, like, I made him just, like, a guy who was, like, staunchly kind of, like, serious and against anime, and, like, that kind of manifested in, like, this very serious, sort of stern, business-like persona. But also when, Spiral was attempting to do these ridiculous anime power moves, so this flying tokusatsu jump kick, which is incredibly ineffective in real life. I countered with my mixed martial arts techniques, which are far superior in the ability to incapacitate an enemy. I just kind of went from describing the character to playing the character there. Don't know how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's like a businessman, but also like an MMA dude.
Yeah.
That's like the least anime kind of person to me.
Apparently, yeah. It's like, even if Strive doesn't have an obsession about anime, they still like... I feel like a Grim Reaper is pretty anime. Bleach exists, you know?
True.
I feel like Vega's pretty anime. Being weird and sexy about women. Pretty... I'm just kidding, Izzy, I'm sorry. I just remembered you being uncomfortable specifically playing as her.
Yeah.
Vega is like anime in the sense that sometimes anime is horny and you're like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
In another universe, I would have played as Vega, and it would have been really bad. So
you might have done a better job than me.
But that's not necessarily a good thing for what this game is, you know? It was good that you were uncomfortable. I think that's kind of all I have to say about that session.
Yeah?
But it was crazy, even if I forgot about it at first. And I was like, was I there? I was, and I do remember it now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, I'm like really just kind of like uncovering the memories of that session more than anything. Like, oh, so that some really wild bullshit happened, huh?
Yeah.
I like Speeding Bullets. I think it's a pretty good game. I think it's a good game for making just the most deranged shit of all time happen.
Yeah.
And Sonic's there, and you can buy Peach Ring G Fuel from him, like Vile did.
God.
Sonic is Vile's dealer.
God.
Yeah. Anything else we have to say on this episode?
No.
I like my funny little guys. I like speeding bullets. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fucking fun making up Sonic characters, especially when they're in like the most ridiculous version of that setting possible.
Yeah.
Go listen to the Sonic Shuffle episode so you can hear about Pineapple and their rival, Mildred the Morning Dove.
Mildred.
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't even remember. That one I remember a lot more. I'm just blanking on the name of my character.
Mm-hmm.
I know they were like a tuft deer. Maybe like Fang or something.
Tank?
Tank, you're right.
Was
it
it
was
Tank?
Tank,
Yeah.
yes. Tank the tuft deer and Devin, friend of the show Devin, and co-host of Sonic Shuffle, played someone obsessed with Starline, to the surprise of no one.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about speeding bullets, I think. But yeah, if you ever see me talking about Axe and Animus, this is where they're from. Because I definitely have talked about them in the Discord before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vile the Sexy Bat is just one of those characters that I'm thinking about a lot, because they're ridiculous. They're just like a little id-fueled gremlin, and they're fantastic.
Uh-huh.
So true. It's just fun sometimes that you have like that character that like is kind of like, they're very simplistic. They're simplistic, but like fun to play because of that.
Yeah. And honestly, I think like Sonic characters are good for that, because like generally Sonic characters are like very archetypical and sort of moldable. They're like very sort of broad personalities, but that's what makes them really good and special.
Using the gender generator on Princess.software is a really fun way to make a character also.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Definitely shout out to the creator, like, of being like, just playing that game and being like, this is good, actually, because they're right.
Mm-hmm.
How about we do plugs?
Yeah,
let's do that.
You can find me, I guess. I'm gonna go first, because I stumbled into it. You can find me at Hunting the Morg on Tumblr and Blue Sky. You can also find me at Gengar and Co-hosts. You can find me on my other podcasts. I mentioned one of them a billion times this time because it is Sonic-based. Sonic Shuffle, Random and Holistic Sonic Lore podcast, which I do with Dan and Devin, and Word for Every Zero Watch podcast. And yeah. That's it for me.
All right, I'm on a podcast called We Rate Queerbait, where we do the thing in the title. We explore the blurry line between homie and homo. I'm on for Affinity with the username Space Robot. I finally updated my gallery and uploaded artwork from the past several months. I finally got all caught up on that. You can look at it now.
Heck yeah.
You can also get in touch with me about commissions, spacerobotart@gmail.com, or just hit me up on Discord. I gotta update my price sheet, though. Things are more expensive now, and also it takes me longer to draw, because I learned how to do details better.
Let's go!
What else? I'm also on an upcoming secret audio drama pilot. Look out for news regarding that.
Hell yeah.
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. I say hell no to social media, so you can't find me anywhere other than our Discord. It's in the show notes. Come by. We do streams and such regularly on Mondays and Fridays, and then randomly at other times and other days. And this podcast is a part of the Noise Space network, noisepace.xyz. They got all sorts of wacky shows on there.
So true.
So true.
Wacky zacky shows.
I'm always looking at Noise Space shows and saying, how wacky. One of the ones I think is wacky is Pot of Greed, where they're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds currently. It's about motorcycles and gods, I think.
Okay.
I'm so behind. I loved it when I was caught up, though. Good show, lots of episodes. If you need a big old podcast.
Yeah. There's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! It turns out, and they're only like 3 series in.
Out of like what, like 7, 8? I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing that
for the rest of their lives.
For the next 50 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm saluting them.
Me too. Alright, I think that about does it for us. Until next time, gotta go fast.
Gotta go faster, faster, faster!
This is who I am.
Gotta juice.
Gotta juice.
Bye-bye.
Bye.